Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I am reaching out to my Java students. Okay, so the reason I'm sending this quick video log out and charming into the class is because I received a couple of emails that I want to make or give clarity on for some students. One has to do with projects, and the other one has to do with your particular assignments as you go through how you write your code in your assignments. So this is important, and I want to really go into this, especially the projects. So I'm going to start off with projects first. Just a minute, let me drink a cup of coffee. Now you cannot see me because I want to have a full screen, and I want you to see what I'm showing you without me being that little bouncing head around and you saying, oh, there go the professor in the corner. No, I want to make sure you can see everything that's going on. This is going to be a short video, but it's going to be a real helpful video for you as a student because I want to give clarity. Now, a student emailed me and said, hey, professor, can you give me clarity on the project and the project proposal? Now, I hesitated to respond back to the student because I want to give you clarity on why these projects and proposals are set up this way. When you go into the programming world, and you may already be in there, but if you're in there, you know how this goes. You are given an assignment. What we like to term is a problem, and based off the skill set that you have, you go solve the problem. Now, wait a minute. You're going to say, hey, professor, I don't have the skill set yet. That's not what we're going. Of course, you don't have the skill set in Java. But we want you to think, starting now, how to be a problem solver. We're going to give you descriptions of what we're looking for, like when you go on an interview, and then we're going to ask you to solve that problem. Or we're going to use the term like this. How would you solve that problem? So you've been given a simple project, and it's pretty much laid out right here before you. This project, we also have given you a deep description of how it should look, and let me pull that over right now. And the reason I'm talking like this is because I want you to start thinking in the realm of a programmer. Now you're going to say, well, I don't have a programming skill. It's not about the skills. It's about being able to think like a person who can solve a problem. How will I solve that problem? You are to create a complete Java application. At the end of this semester, you're going to create a complete Java application. Now, guess what? You only have 8 weeks to do this. So is it going to be a massive application? I was talking to a student, and she was talking about stuff in the medical world. And she wanted to create an application that, no. You only got 8 weeks. So it should be something simple. But in that simplicity, if I said that word right, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know some of you are. In that simple form, you are to use these here to build this application. Some of this material you haven't even got to yet, but you'll be using this here to build the application. This here will complete your entire application. Listen to what it says. This application must be approved by your instructor. However, you will decide what this application is about. This application must include at a minimum. So you get to use a lot of information, but at a minimum, when I grade it, this is what I'm going to look for right here. And remember, we haven't got to all of this yet. But I know one thing, if I wanted to understand inheritance, since I know that this will be in my program, I'll go in there and look at how they put that code together and say, I got it, and implement it in the program I'm thinking of. Classes. Right now, you should know what classes are. So you should be able to go back, pull out classes and say, okay, this is how we set up classes. This is the code for classes. Now, as you proceed, you can see here, the first one is just telling me what you're thinking about creating. Listen, you telling me what you're thinking about creating. It says this assignment will require that you provide your instructor the proposal for this project. Make sure you read any feedback from your instructor. Believe me this, if you ask me right now, Professor, what should I do? I can't tell you what you should do, because if I tell you, it's no longer your project. It's my project. And you gonna write a project that I want written. And that's not how it should be. In the programming world, from time to time, if not 100%, you will be given projects and just simply say, hey, go create this, or go complete this, or go code this. It's your project. How can you go wrong with your project? Now, if it's a project that is so that I know you can't do in 8 weeks, I'm gonna say, wait a minute. We only have 8 weeks. What I'm saying to you, you can't go wrong with your project. What I can do as a professor is accept it or don't accept it. And if I don't accept it, it's only because I know it's humanly impossible for you as an individual to create that project. And if I think you can't do it, that's only because I'm looking at the vast amount of information it's going to take to create that project. Like a student said to me about her particular project. And I had to tell her, taper down. Don't go vast. Right now, think more of simple. Keep it simple sound, as we like to say in the industry. So, read this, write up what you want to create, then let me charm in. Don't let me charm in before, because then guess what? I just tainted the idea behind this. When we came together as professors and put this together, it was on the basis of the student leading, in control, doing his thing. All I am is the guy who sit back and say, well, that may be a little too much for you to handle. Again, read any comments provided as part of the grading assignment. So you already see, I'm going to charm in and make comments, but I want you to give me the proposal. And of course, you got till tonight to get it in, so don't miss that time slot. But this is important, students. It's your project. Now, you have a massive project proposal right here. It tells you exactly how many words you should be using. 300 words ain't none. I just talk way past 300 words. So you just giving me a description. Hey, professor, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Blah, 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 blah. This is how I'll set it up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm following what you have here. Blah, blah, blah. There it is. But if Professor Sistrunk step in and say, hey, I need this here, then it's not your project. Well, Professor, you just giving me guidance. No. I shouldn't be guiding you on deciding what project you should be. It should be simple, something that you can do. Now, let me throw some things out there, which I shouldn't do. It could be a game, a simple game. It can be a calculator, a simple adding device. As long as you're following the description, then you got it. If you go on YouTube, you go on Google and search for projects, you can search for a project and say, oh, this project was written in C++, but I'm going to write it in Java. Now, when doing that, to make sure you're not stealing somebody else's project or you're not cheating, you have to be able to explain that entire project. So if I see something now, I'm like, well, where did you get that from? And I say we need to meet, then you should be able to explain every detail of that project. In other words, you should be able to own that project. And that's what I look for. And don't give me the colorful words. Well, Professor, you know. No, I know the difference between ownership and plagiarism or stealing. So with this being said, I'm going to send this video out to you, but I wanted to chime in really quickly and talk about this here. Now, the next thing is I want to talk about the projects. Okay, let's talk about the projects. Some of you are sending projects to me, so I thought I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again right now. Make sure you do not send me your project once you do the program. Send me the code. That's all I need is the code, because I'm going to run your project on my end. And when I run it on my end, I'm going to say, oh, something is wrong. So I said this earlier, you're going to title it according to what these descriptions are. And then you're going to give me just the code. And I'm going to base your code off of this here. This here, your rubric. So when you write the programs, don't just go write a program and don't look at the rubric, because this is what I'm basing it off of. So send me just the code. I know some of you have been sending me your projects, so that's okay. I'm able to run it still, because embedded in your projects is the code. But I don't need all that. I don't need all the fuss. I just need the code. So send me the code. Now, if you don't send me the code, what I'm going to do is email you back and say, excuse me, you send me a project. I need the code. Can you send the code? So don't do it going forward. Okay, so with that being said, and if you have sent me the project, just go back and just upload the code behind the project, and I'll be able to get that, okay? Because I know some of you are moving in advanced stages and you're taking care of your business, and I always want to say to those students, kudos to you, you're doing great. But students, do not let this put you in a state of confusion, because it's not. You have the chapter there, you have the book there. Just simply follow that path. And don't be nervous about the projects that you have to create. To be honest with you, this project you create is going to show that you have the skills to build a Java application, which in these other classes, I noticed they don't have you build a complete project. And that's what every class will be geared to in Ivy Tech when it comes to programming languages. You have to build a project. In all of my Cisco classes, the very last exam is a project. In my Microsoft classes, projects are good because it gives you the opportunity to show that you have learned the skill. Now, you're not going to be a complete Java master when you leave this class. This class purpose is to introduce you to the language and get you thinking like a Java programming, and hopefully you'll learn the syntax and the coding to the point where you can write programs in Java. That's what this class is about. So don't leave this class talking about I'm a Java master now. No. It takes years to be good at Java, people. It takes years. So with that being said, this is Professor Sistrunk. I hope that this video was helpful. And for those of you who haven't completed your assignments, I have to contact the school and let them know that you're behind. So you should be receiving some in the mail from the school, or in your email rather. With that being said, hey, for those of you who are knocking it out the park and calming down, kudos to you. This is Professor Sistrunk. Let's move forward, and I will see you in the next session. Remember, last week's programs I'm gonna grade, but I'm also gonna grade your project because your proposal to your project, because I want you to be in the know on what you gotta do. So you should be receiving that next week, just to give you comments on your project. If it's something that's drastic, I'm gonna step in and say, hey, we need to talk. And for those of you who are writing these programs and want deep breakdown of the programs, come on, people. It's too many students to be doing that. And just give me the code, and I'll give you comments back on what you need to do. Okay, this is Professor Sistrunk. I'm signing off. Let me get out your hair, and let's continue to program.